and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we'll be discussing as to your route towards becoming in-house legal counsel straight out of law school. Now, I've been getting a lot of queries as to how I became in-house legal counsel with Microsoft straight after graduating from my law school. This is the most sought after question that I've been asked, and people have been requesting me to create a video with regards to what all things that worked for me and what all things that didn't work out for me. So, in today's video, we'll be discussing about how you can become in-house legal counsel straight out of law school. So, first question is with regards to how I started my journey. Now, during law school, I was crystal clear about my path that I wanted to move towards corporate sector. So I started learning the skills that are required towards becoming in-house legal counsel and towards catering your path as a corporate lawyer. So I did my research with regards to what all are the skills that are required to become in-house legal counsel, the skills that are required to move towards corporate sector. So that's how I started my journey. Once I graduated from law school, I started looking out for all the practical aspects because let's be fair, whatever we learn during law school does not have much relevance, especially if you are moving towards corporate sector. So while I learned Indian Contract Act for 2 semesters, that did not had any relevance to the practical questions that were being asked during rounds of interviews as in-house legal counsel. So the first lengthy task before me was how can I gather all the skills that are required to ace my interviews and become in-house legal counsel. So I did my research, find out, went on various job portals, look out for JD of the companies where I was interested in and the companies which excites me. I saw their JD and all the job descriptions had one thing in common. They require someone who has knowledge of contracts, not just contract drafting, but contract vetting and negotiation. These were the requirements that were coming across in every other job description of every other company. So the first challenge I had before me is where can I learn contract vetting and negotiation? Because this is something which I require to become in-house legal counsel. So that was the first question before me. Afterwards, the other question before me was, okay, I have learned contract vetting and negotiation. Now, how do I start it? From where do I start applying? Then I started going on various job portals. Then I started reaching out to people on LinkedIn. That's how I started my journey. Okay. Next question is what worked for me and what did not work for me. Okay. So I basically went on 2 job portals. First was Naukri.com, second was LinkedIn Jobs. These were the very major job portals wherein I applied for all the open positions in the companies where I was interested in working for. Now, how do I search out for open positions? You have to use very specific keywords. Reason being because majority of the companies that you want to apply for does not post any vacancy on the job portals. So another thing you have to make sure is that your profile is up to date because these companies they tend to pick profile from these job portals and directly contact you. You would hardly find their vacancies being listed on the job portals. So make sure your CV and your profile is up to date on each and every job portal. That's how you can ensure that you are going to get more calls. Second thing that I went for was I was interested in working with Microsoft. So I went to Microsoft page. I searched out for all the people that were working in their in-house legal team. I started reaching out to them, knowing their experience, knowing what were the requirements they were looking for, what's the team size, and whether there are any open positions or not. 90% did not revert back, but 10% did. And those 10% catered my way towards becoming in-house legal counsel. So even if you do not get any reply, stick to the path, keep on messaging, keep on following up, give a gentle push, give it a gentle follow up, and you will definitely receive responses from people. Then afterwards, I got to know that the skills that are required that I actually need to know was contract vetting and negotiations. So I did not know contract vetting and negotiation aside from Indian Contract Act. Even if I went on Google and download agreements, I just got to know meaning of the clauses. But I barely made it out of the first interview. I miserably failed in my first interview because of the sole reason. I only knew the meaning of the clauses. I did not know how to apply those clauses, what to review for in those clauses, how to negotiate on a particular clause. I did not know anything of that sort. So another task before me was how to learn negotiation situations because that's what the questions will be all about. So that was another task for me. So in order to overcome that obstacle and hurdle, I reached out to my seniors and my peers who were already working as an in-house legal counsel. I asked them about the particular important clauses that I checked online. These are the important clauses in particular agreement that I want to be dealing in. I want to show my potential employer that these are the agreements I have worked on. So I asked them, these are the important clauses. Tell me how would you negotiate on these clauses? And I learned about negotiation not just from one side, but from both these sides, service provider as well as service recipient. Now, it is really important. Why? Reason being because you never know. In an interview, you will be asked questions from which side. So it's really important to know the negotiation situations from both these sides. Next, once I learned all the practical skills with regards to contract vetting and negotiation, I tailor made and custom made my CV because learning alone is never sufficient. You need to showcase your skills via your CV because your CV is the first thing that your potential employer will see. They're not going to have a direct word with you. The first thing they have of you is your CV. So if your CV does not provide them with the relevant skill set that they are looking for, it's a big no for you. You will be having straightforward rejection. So next I did was custom made my CV basis the requirements of the company. Next challenge before me was even if I showcase my skills through my CV, they were like you did not have any post qualification and actual experience. So this time I need to bifurcate myself from a fresher. I need to convince them that I know the practical skills and I have learned while on the duty, while on the job practically I have worked on it. How I have worked on it, it was upon me to justify that. That was the next hurdle upon for me. Now, how I overcame that hurdle, I simply provided them with all the negotiation situations, the life scenarios that I have encountered, that I have dealt in. That's how I was able to differentiate me from a fresher. They did not take me as a fresher. They take me as someone who knows the practical skills, who have the practical knowledge. That's how they treated me, and that's how I was able to not just ace but clear my interview and become in-house legal counsel straight after law school. So all these things are really important to bridge the gap between fresher and an experienced professional and to kickstart your journey towards becoming in-house legal counsel. It worked for me, and I can assure you 100% surety it will work for you as well. You just need to bridge the gap. If you will keep on applying after litigation or coming straight out of law school but not showing the practical skill set, you will keep on applying, but you will not find anything. That's the major obstacle, or that's the major hurdle that many fresh law graduates face today as well. Now, next question, and the most sought after question that I have been asked: how can you become in-house legal counsel and start your journey towards corporate sector as a fresher? Now, the very first thing that you need to understand is what is the position requirement. Till the time you do not understand what are the company's requirement, you will never be able to make it. So first understand what are they asking for. Next, understand why company is not willing to take fresher or someone they have to train. Why company do not want that? Why companies want that someone who already have practical knowledge. I'm not saying practical experience, but practical knowledge. Practical knowledge goes a long way. It shows your potential employer that you are trainable. You just have to brush up your skills and on the job you will be ready to negotiate and review all kind of agreement that they are looking for. So first thing is understand the position's requirement. Once you have understood the position's requirement, then you have to remove that fresher tag. How can you remove that fresher tag? By showcasing your professional and relevant experience. If you do not have any relevant experience, you have to showcase your practical skills, your practical knowledge. If you're able to showcase your practical skills and knowledge, you will be distinguished from other candidates who do not have, even if they are coming with years of experience, but do not have any experience, relevant experience in contract vetting and negotiation, you will be getting an upper edge. So you need to remove that freshers tag. Then you have to justify your skill set. Learning those skill set is not enough. You have to justify from where you have learned those skills. How have you attained those skills? Where you have applied those skills and how it has helped those skills and how those skills will be beneficial for the company you are applying for. These are the important pointers that you have to keep in mind. You'll have to justify it. Till the time you are not able to justify it, you would not be able to make it as in-house legal counsel. How you will be able to justify it, how you will be able to showcase it? The first thing, obviously, your CV. So make sure your CV showcase all the relevant skills, all the relevant practical knowledge and experience. If your CV is not showcasing that, you will never even get interview calls, let alone interviews. So that the first thing you'll have to make a specific custom tailor make CV. Don't go for generalized CV. Generalized CV don't work anywhere. It hardly works anywhere. Next, the last thing you'll have to justify is by providing them with the practical examples. If you are given a negotiation, don't tell them what you will do. Tell them where you have applied those practical skill set. What was the outcome of those practical skill set? Once you are able to justify, your potential employer will definitely know this person has obtained practical knowledge and he can or she can work and get go ahead on the job. That's how you are going to gain an edge over other candidates, and that's how you can become in-house legal counsel. So, to answer the question, the most asked question, in short, if you can become in-house legal counsel as a fresher. Yes, you can become in-house legal counsel even straight after law school, but the major requirement is understanding the position's requirement and obtaining those skills. Till the time you do not obtain those skills, it's a big no from every company. So at the end, this was the most sought after question which I answered in detail. If you have any questions, feel free to mention in comments or pin in comments. Further, if you require any assistance with regards to interview preparations or your specific tailor-made part towards becoming in-house legal counsel, feel free to reach out on the number mentioned on your screen. We have registration open for our next batch wherein you can learn everything from scratch practically, not just learn but do it yourself. If you want to enroll, feel free to reach out or go to the website mentioned in the description box. Thank you everyone for joining in. See you in